Hi class, welcome to the video Understanding the Case Study Assignment. This video will help you understand the major assignment analyzing the case study. It's due on April 2nd and it's worth 20% of your grade. Everything that I'm going to show you is in the folder for the assignment. To find that, look under Major Assignments and you'll see a folder for case study analysis. If you click on the folder, you'll see a number of things, including the instructions and the grading rubric, the document where you find the case studies that you'll be reading called Case Studies in Educational Psychology, a link on how to record audio and compress files if you need that, and finally, the link to submit. Let's go a bit into the instructions. These are the instructions and the grading rubric that you can find in that folder. As I said, it's worth 20% of your grade and it's due on April 2nd. It may be submitted up to a week late with a 10% point penalty, and it may be revised for a week after it's graded. The idea here is that you're going to select a longer case study and you're going to read it and analyze it through the lens of some of the theories that we've been learning in class this semester. So let's go through the steps. Number one, you need to select a case study. So do you remember the document I just showed you, Case Studies in Educational Psychology, that's in the folder for the assignment? Click on that and select one of the case studies shown here. Each of these case studies involves a teacher struggling with an issue, a classroom issue. It could be a behavioral issue, it could be a social emotional issue, it could be a learning issue. You can find summaries of the case study near the beginning of the document. Take your time and read the summaries and find the case study that most appeals to you. Don't select a case study other than the ones here unless you write to me and ask for permission to do so. Next, you're going to carefully read the case study, and I would read it multiple times. You might make notes as you go along. Then you're going to select two of the following theorists from which to present the case study. Some of these we've covered in class. Some of these we haven't yet covered. So we've covered Piaget and Vygotsky and Erikson. This week we're covering Kohlberg. Soon we'll cover Skinner and Bandura and Dweck and Eccles. You're going to select two of the theorists and you're going to read the case study and analyze it through their perspective. You might review the course information, the lectures, the textbook on the theories they developed. Then you're going to prepare a PowerPoint. You don't have to do a paper on this one, a PowerPoint. And you're going to have certain slides on it, which I'm showing you here. You're going to have a title slide that includes your name, the title of the presentation, and the date. You're going to give an introduction to the case. You're going to give the name of the case study and a brief summary, probably a paragraph to summarize it. You're going to present a succinct, that means short description. What's the problem in the case study that the teacher is dealing with? You're going to present your two theories, describing the theorist and what the theorist said. When you're describing the theories, it's important to provide enough details that the listener really has an understanding of what the theory is. So for example, if you're describing Piaget, Piaget's theory of cognitive development. You'll want to describe how Piaget thought learning occurred through the process of assimilation, for example, and exploration of the environment, as well as his stages. The next slide or slides will be recommendations aligned with the theories. So for each theory, each of the two theories, you need to come up with 2 recommendations for how to address the problem in the case study. So that means 2 theories, 2 recommendations. You should have at least 4 recommendations, and they should be aligned with what the theory states. For example, if the problem is poor student behavior, and the theory says that reinforcers increase behavior, good behavior, which is what Skinner's theory says, how could you use reinforcers to improve student behavior? I often see students fall down in this part. Let's say the problem is poor behavior, and they come up with a strategy that they want to, and they cite Skinner, and then they say make the lessons more creative. Well, that's a great idea for the classroom, but it doesn't align with what Skinner's theory was. So make sure the theory that you're mentioning aligns with the strategies that you're mentioning. So if you're mentioning Skinner, you're going to talk about using reinforcers and punishments in the classroom. You're going to have a slide or 2 about what you learned, and this is different than a conclusion. So think about what did you learn that you can take into your classroom specifically from this assignment. What surprised you? What went well? With what did you struggle? What would you like to learn more about? Was it easy or difficult? These are guiding questions to help you write reflection. Provide a title slide where classmates can ask questions. And finally, you must have 3 or more references. One of your references must be your textbook. You don't have to have citations throughout your PowerPoint, but you need a reference slide at the end. Where did you draw your information? Make sure that your references are in APA format. Save your PowerPoint and then record your case study presentation. Pretend that you are presenting this to your class and record it. If you don't know how to do this, I've put resources in the folder for the assignment. And then you're going to submit your PowerPoint with the audio by the due date. Sometimes it's difficult to submit these PowerPoint files if they have audio recordings on them. You can learn how to compress files at the link that I've provided here. Also in the document with the instructions is the grading rubric, so you can see how I'm going to grade your presentation. Did you have a title slide with the important details? Did you have an introduction with the important details? Did you summarize the problem? Did you describe the 2 theories adequately? For each theory, did you give 2 recommendations? Did you write a meaningful reflection? Did you have a reference? Did you have at least 3 references? Continuing the rubric, did you record the presentation? And was your delivery audible and confident? And finally, was your presentation mostly mistake-free, or did it have spelling and grammar errors, APA errors? That's it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at nhalbrun